Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're back for yet another episode of Doctor Who, The Legend of Ruby Sunday, and I'm joined by two absolutely fantastic friends of mine, Marvellous Johnny and St. Pat. Say hello, boys.
Hello.
Perfectly timed, if I dare say so myself. I don't think it was intentional, but I will give you props. But I think it's safe to say we're all incredibly excited for this episode. We are recording this again slightly late, so I do apologise in the delay of the release of this episode. However, I think we can safely say this is probably the most anticipated episode of the season so far, with the exception of maybe 73 yards. However, I think even that I wasn't that kind of like, but it looks.
73 yards was anticipated because of the preview.
Yes.
This was anticipated just from the name.
From
alone.
the name and then the combination of name and preview. You can't have an episode titled. It's like the episode in Matt Smith's 7th season of The Impossible Girl, after having the whole thing with Clara and then going, oh, there's an episode called. Same kind of thing. But if anything, I'd say. Here. Literally. But if anything, I would say this is more interesting based on the coming soon. But I think I've waffled for long enough because I'm really excited to get into this episode and I've been dodging spoilers like absolutely crazy. So without further ado, let's get into it. Kate Lethbridge. Oh! Rose Temple. Or Noble. Noble Temple.
Yeah. Temple. Yeah, Noble Temple.
Temple Noble. Noble Temple. I do worry for the paint job on the bottom of the TARDIS.
I worry for the paint job inside the unit.
True.
We love Kate.
Ooh.
Kate's dad. He was the best of men.
Potential remembrance. Oh, okay. So that wasn't. They debated us.
That wasn't the one.
Everywhere. She must middle-aged.
Kate knows already.
So high,
They all know. They're just like waiting to tell him.
What?
We've known about her for ages, mate.
What is it?
That's an anagram for TARDIS.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is anyone getting Archangel Network vibes?
Oh man.
A little bit, yeah. He can just do that.
The name is TARDIS technology.
Good job, Johnny.
Obviously. There we go.
So
There's my
just
camera.
that.
When the
Never mind
Doctor
the
makes
other
all the
one.
people he
Okay.
comes in contact upgrade their intelligence to be on the same level, and now he's not surprising them anymore.
She's called Susan.
Susan.
Is that significant?
His granddaughter.
Susan is the name of my granddaughter.
The only other thing I've seen is that, and this was released before the episode came out, and that is the neighbour being in Ruby's. Yeah, so I think it's
Looking
possible.
after Cherry Sundays.
Oh, it was just a rehearsal.
Well, it got me cheering.
Oh, that's Mel.
Spy. Reckon Mel's a spy.
Bonkers. Gift to
I am very much getting 10th Doctor vibes with the whole Master arc.
I wanted to cheer. He was a postman, she was a dinner lady, but they told me
I'm trying to think if that links to Susan, but I'm pretty sure one of them was a school
90
teacher.
minutes time.
Yes, one of her
Yeah.
other companions was a school teacher. Really makes me want to go back and watch Classic Who.
Here it
If I
is,
can find a way
safe and
to.
sound. The Legend of Ruby Sunday.
Ah, they said it.
Roll
Maybe you can
credits.
see my birth mother. If we can see her face just once.
But that was when I wasn't looking.
That's not at all reassuring.
It's not encouraging.
Aren't you a beauty? Thank you.
Hoping for that growth spurt.
Oh,
Mum, I'm leaving you with Mrs. Flood. You've got your
For
pills.
sure, Queen.
2 yellow.
well, we'd all like a lot of things that aren't going to happen.
What that supposed to mean?
That sounds
Be
evil.
very
Does.
careful, Mrs. Sunday. There's a storm coming in.
Ooh. Who is Mrs. Flood?
He waits no more.
He waits. Okay.
Oh.
No more.
That's the one thing I had spoiled, is that thing of her saying he waits no more. That's it.
Ah.
Doctor.
I would honestly love a unit TV show starring Kate.
Yeah? It's,
Oh yeah.
But he
Yeah.
never.
again, for the millionth time this like season of reactions, they have costume departments worked overtime this season.
Do you think Susan
amazing.
tried?
And plus, just Shooty's just
Do you
so
want it to
beautiful.
be-
in
Oh, he's a
anything.
very good looking
yes.
chap.
Said hello.
Yeah.
I love how they're giving 15 more than one
In the eye.
wardrobe.
Would you recognize
Absolutely.
him?
Yes.
Wow. He's getting a lot of hugs this season.
I'll have some of
It's the
that.
second one he's got. Which is nice.
He deserves them.
He's about to get another one. I'll tell you that for now.
Yeah, there he is.
I'm wondering what we're going to see on this VHS.
We're definitely gonna get two stories that converge into one now.
With any form of time technology.
Do you have a time window?
10 floors down.
There we go.
What's the time window then? I'm imagining it's a window through time.
I'm imagining like the thing from Loki. But like
That's not a bad shout. I think it's something like that.
it'd be funny if they reused that same asset.
Oh, are they going to reconstruct it off of footage?
Oh, that would be
Maybe.
really freaking cool. He's laughing at the technology, isn't he?
Yeah.
This is rough. Wow, you
I love it.
lashed this together.
It's quite impressive looking, to be fair.
It looks impressive to us.
So much about your
I'm not gonna lie, for a moment I thought that was Danny Pink.
say, Mom.
It seems like a very weird contrast between him going, we're never going to look into that ever, to... Let's do it.
Yeah.
How much
Yeah.
did it all cost?
Taxpayers' money.
Hey!
For me.
I really gotta find out what happened to Mel's family.
I'm honestly expecting a jump scare.
I love their energy so much.
It's very chaotic. It's kind of fragmented.
Oh, it reminds me of the original opening for the Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Why does dude look a little bit like Adam Driver?
he does a little bit.
Right?
A little
with
bit,
the,
yeah.
with the facial hair?
Is it going to show the Doctor walking around as well then?
It better.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to be Mrs. Flood.
Oh, it's also 70. They're also like 73 yards away, too.
I'm ready to be jumped.
You ready for a jump scare?
I am terrified of this, mate. Yep.
Is no one recording it?
You would have thought it has some form of like modelling to save it.
I'm sure it's built in.
Coming back in time in 2000.
The question is, did something else happen that he wasn't aware of here?
I had to go back to the church.
Good point.
He left the TARDIS. That was the thing that happens. They point.
She's pointing at you.
Yeah. Bro, I'm getting chills. This is unnerving me. So I'm expecting something.
See if there's anything there.
He's so dead.
I know.
Nah, not. I'm done. I'm not.
Maybe
I'm not. I'm not trusting it. I'm not trusting it.
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's gonna hit the TARDIS and he's gonna bump it. We're not gonna see him. He's gonna go. He's gonna disappear.
No. Not even a flicker.
No, wait for it. Wait for it.
Where's he gone? He would have come back round.
The sweet fuckity fuck? Is that how the snow gets through?
Doctor,
Maybe?
Doctor, what is that thing?
I like how now they're trying to find him when there's a massive unknown mass there.
Poor Colonel, Unit Colonels, they're always being sacrificed. They're like red shirts.
Is it all of time?
I know its name. It's the beast.
It's the
Wait,
beast from the Satan pit. That sounds like the. That
that the
sounds.
beast?
That sounds like it.
Yo, that dude just unfazed. What the hell?
Nah. That's the beast, surely.
Open the doors.
But
So
it's
is
still
he the
there.
one who waits then?
Potentially.
Kate looks mad.
I don't really blame her, to be honest,
Neither do I.
because she was telling him to stay still.
Going from one problem to the other, or
I think he's thinking it must be Lickington that she's Susan, his Susan. She's involved in some way, but I don't know if she's aware that she's involved. I don't know.
yeah.
Don't usually ever see the Doctor get physical with his anger. It's quite rare.
Last time I remember is 12 beating the TARDIS car.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That thing killed him.
I think it's the devil from the Satan pit. That's my best guess.
Do you dream about a place called Pacifico del Rio?
Oh,
Do you dream about being an ambulance?
she's terrified.
Sorry, I've really got to go.
Jesus. This is what I mean. She's involved, but she doesn't know how. It's
Yeah,
Mrs. Flood.
She's very much a victim. Oh,
Wait a minute.
I love a good mystery involving the TARDIS. It's made that noise before.
Has it?
I think
In
so.
Wild Blue Yonder, in one other episode. Can't remember which one.
With the option,
This is good.
the TARDIS alone.
Very good. I love this tension.
The mystery, man.
He looks so overwhelmed.
The Doctor hates not knowing.
Why is Rose still there? Donna would not be happy about this.
Oh no, Donna would be livid, mate.
No. Okay, let's cut back to Mrs. Flood. I want to know what she's doing.
Everyone run.
Yeah. Sorry, Kate, I love you. When's that ever worked?
Was that from the Beast?
This is similar. This is very similar.
Is it? Okay. I really need to rewatch that episode now.
This is also connecting back to a classic Who character.
Which one?
So back the weird Egyptian
Yes,
pointy head
yes.
guy.
Harriet.
Harbinger.
Hurricane Cocktail.
Harbinger.
Yeah.
Oh, the music. John Sims Master.
Oh.
It's also like that.
said this thing was broken.
The toy maker, the god of games. There is Trickster, the god
Trickster. Trickster mention.
There is Maestro, the god of music. There is Reprobate, the god of...
Those the Ragnarok gods?
Maybe.
So,
Yeah.
Satan.
Pat called it.
Sutek.
It's from the Tom Baker's era.
Ah.
Dear God.
wow.
What's up with her hair? Nah, that's creepy as hell. Ah.
That explains the sands.
She looks like Vecna.
Oh
A
yeah.
fair bit, yes.
But what's the connection to Ruby?
Unless she's a god herself, maybe? Or the child of one?
We're gonna see I think we're gonna see a derobing here.
We gotta.
Oh, come on.
Oh, it's gonna be Mrs. Flood, isn't it? Oh, that is very freaky.
It's the dude. This is creeping me the hell out.
Oh, this is a huge upgrade from classic Who.
I really need to go and watch Classic Who now.
To be
God
continued.
damn it!
No. They can't do that to us.
So that was the legend of Ruby Sunday. I think I can summarize it by saying we are all reasonably shook.
Very.
I was wrong. I thought this
Doctor
was.
Who does horror so well.
It does do horror so well. To be fair, it doesn't help with the time of my recording, which is gone midnight, which isn't helpful.
One of my
So
favorite documentary starts with how the beginning of the very first episode of William Hartnell's Doctor scared kids senseless, and they loved it for that.
honestly, mate, that terrified me. But I honestly was surprised that was not the Satan from the Satan Pit, because there were a lot more similarities to me. Granted, I've not watched Classic Who, so I don't really know much about Sutek, but to me, it felt very, very, very similar to the arc that David Tennant's Doctor had with, supposedly the Devil. I think the only thing that I was like, well, if it was that, I think they would have done was the writing on the face, because that's a very big thing of that episode, and obviously that I don't think that's been linked to this, but no, this was really, really good. I don't know if I suppose any of you have any knowledge of Sutek from Classic Who, or
I don't. Pat seems to, though.
There's Tom Baker has several very scary arcs, because
Okay.
you have the time key with the god of the god of light and the god of chaos, where he gets recruited, and then you have the gods of Ragnarok, which I think is Sutek is from, and he's a villain that like has scared the Doctor like so deeply.
yeah,
And you can see
you can see that with Shooties.
15.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So I've just looked at also the names of the gods that he calls out, just for reference. So we've got the Toymaker, the god of games. We've obviously met the Toymaker. The Trickster, the god of traps. We've seen the Trickster in Sarah Jane Adventures. There are a lot of links between the Trickster, I believe. There were a lot of theories to a lot of links between the Trickster in
I
early
do still need to watch
episodes.
a fair bit of Sarah Jane Adventures.
You definitely watch the Trickster episodes. There's one with the Trickster that involves David Tennant's Doctor. Honestly, fantastic. I love it. Maestro, the god of music. We've seen, obviously seen Maestro.
We've seen them.
Reprobate, the god of spite. Don't know if we've seen that one.
No, but they kind of sound like my kind of speed.
Yeah. The Mara, the god of beasts, previously seen in Kinda and Snake Dance. I don't know what this is. I don't think this is Doctor Who, from what I can find. It does seem to be like a...
Maybe it's Torchwood or...
It's linked to the Doctor. I'm not entirely sure how it connects, but they've been seen before. But it seems that it says here the threefold deity of malice, mischief, and misery, incentive the god of disaster, and her children called Doubt and Dread. So we've got a pretty stacked lineup coming. I'm assuming, I don't think we'll necessarily get all of these deities maybe appearing, because that is a lot. And I don't think, because considering so far the Toymaker got an entire episode, the Maestro got an entire episode. I can't see them giving an entire episode to every single deity on this list. But the only thing that they haven't, we've not answered who's Ruby's mum. We don't know what's going on with Mrs. Flood.
I think we're going to find out next week for sure, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be Mrs. Flood. I think Mrs. Flood has just an additional role. That's the thing. But I'm not sure. Sorry, Pat, you were going to say something.
If you guys want a breakdown of the gods of Ragnarok, I have the TARDIS wiki up here.
Okay, knock yourself out. That sounds great.
Alright, cool. So, you have the gods of Ragnarok composed of Father Ragnarok, Mother Ragnarok. They were mentioned, the father, the mother, and a little girl.
Oh.
A little girl.
A little girl.
Were three old ones resembling stone statues who made same beings suffer to entertain themselves. Rassilon, Rog, and Nog. They were stopped.
Okay.
Rassilon?
This was the seventh. This was the seventh Doctor that appeared. So that's where let's see, Sotek. Here you go. Okay, Sutek, also known as Sutek the Destroyer, was an Assyrian who planned to destroy all of life in the universe. He feared all life which might one day challenge his homogeny, and so he became the destroyer of all living things.
Interesting.
He led the Pathian of Discord.
Damn it, that tracks from what we know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. Spouses Nifis, Henry Obinger was his grandchild. Children: Anubis, the Trickster, Krampus, the Toymaker, Maestro
Krampus,
Mara,
the Toymaker?
Krampus, the Toymaker, Maestro Mara.
Krampus.
Bless me.
So Krampus is a different deity.
Oh, okay, so Krampus and the Toymaker are separate. Okay, I thought it was like Krampus, comma...
The Toymaker.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Incense of Doubt and Dread. So Sutek is the father of all of the deity of the Toymaker and Maestro.
Okay, that makes sense.
Interesting.
So he's leading this pantheon. We don't know who Susan Twist is. Not Susan Twist, sorry. We don't know who Mrs. Flood. So...
Yeah.
Trying to see what the fourth
question the thing I'm thinking is maybe. So the only thing I think there's no reason for Mrs. Flood to say the one who waits is almost here, other than for the benefit of the viewer, and she's done fourth wall breaks before. Why would she need to be informing the viewer of something that happens later in the episode that doesn't involve her?
Right.
We have a character named Harbinger. If we're gonna have anyone do it, it would be the Harbinger, surely, right? So, I'm in part of the three that I think Sutek is definitely high up there, but I don't know if Mrs. Flood is. I think Mrs. Flood may be either an accomplice or a level above. That's my theory, because she's talking about, she knew about the TARDIS. She was introduced before the others were. Well, technically not the trickster. As saying that she knew what was either that, or she knew the plan that was going to happen with Sutek. But the way it's framed to me doesn't lead me to believe that she's just an accomplice. I think she's either a co-conspirator or the conspirator herself. That's how I view it. What do you guys think about that, actually? Just out of interest, because I don't know if I'm waffling.
As of right now, I am looking up whether or not Set, who Sutek is based off of in Egyptian mythology, have a wife, and he did.
He had a wife.
Nephthys.
Yeah.
That could work. That could work.
Nephthys?
Nephthys.
Yeah, Nephthys or something like that. The goddess of air. And the head of the family. So what if that's who Mrs. Flood
that
is?
could work. So to me it makes more sense for Mrs. Flood to have a more involved role than is currently led to believe. And I guess you could say with her name, the flood follows the storm. I don't know. You could kind of have a link maybe there, but
And in Egyptian mythology, Nephthys was like the counterbalance to Set. Set is pure chaos. He's the Egyptian god of chaos, destruction, everything that's bad, that's against the Ma'at, which is justice and good. And Nephthys she kind of like kept him in control, and kept like she's a goddess of Ma'at too, of good and justice.
Okay. Interesting. We've got a lot to think about.
Her sister's name is Isis.
What they got off?
Isis is Osiris's wife, goddess of magic.
Okay.
Yes.
I think
Queen of the gods.
I think here we're probably expanding more into Egyptian mythology, which I'm not complaining about, to be fair. It's interesting.
My fault.
To be fair, Pat, I don't blame you in the slightest, because it is actually quite interesting. However, getting back a little bit more kind of directly to the episode, I will say the kind of the practical effects they did on the face, they looked terrifying, and they did give off Vecna vibes. But they honestly looked up like that. I was just like, I'm done. I can go home now. I don't need any more. So that was really fantastic. But yeah, I don't think so. This is a 2-part episode. I don't see this being a 2-parter without having another twist. Because remember,
there's always
a twist at the end, which is exactly what I've been saying this entire season. So see, yeah, again, what Mrs. Flood said, there's a storm coming in, he waits no more. Wait.
Yes.
You said Sutek's partner, or the person that Sutek is based on, partner, controls air.
Yes. Storm. Do involve
There's a
air.
storm coming. I may be reaching here. God knows I may be reaching here.
Hey, that's the fun part of theories, my friend.
Okay, so my current running theory.
You have to reach.
You know,
it could be literally anything.
To be fair, Russell's got us working. Russell's got us working good here. But I do think then. Okay, my leading theory, Mrs. Flood is either a co-conspirator with Sutek or the conspirator herself over Sutek. And will have more of a control over this pantheon. I don't think you can have 2 Harbinger characters and then have a random other third character who's been hinted at having like this bigger involvement this entire time, and not have her being like another one of these generic harbingers. That doesn't make sense to me. Especially with the whole thing of the harbinger is that they are foretelling someone's coming. We had one, but why did Mrs. Flood tell us unless she had inside knowledge and wasn't herself a harbinger? So that is where my theory kind of draws in. It doesn't, to me, make logical sense just to have her being someone telling, oh, the forewarning if she's not a harbinger, because they've put emphasis on that in the story before, and I don't see why they wouldn't keep doing that. But that's just how I look at it. I may be, again, going mad. But that is my kind of running theory here. What do you got? Do you reckon that Mrs. Flood's more involved? Because I may be alone on this theory, but yeah.
I am willing to put money on the fact that Mrs. Flood might indeed be Ruby Sunday's mother.
I think it's possible.
Because like the way they're framing that scene, it looks like it's supposed to be someone we recognize, right? And I think they've already done the thing with Susan Twist or Susan Triad or whatever it is, and just from there, I think it makes the most sense.
Could be Susan. It could be
like,
Susan, as in the Doctor's granddaughter. It's possible.
That could be interesting. That could be very interesting.
Theory going around.
It
I like that.
Doctor's great granddaughter.
I suppose
that's why they're traveling around.
Doesn't quite tie in with this whole deity thing if it's just a Time Lord link. Unless...
You know what's another one of my questions though? This thing that is currently happening to the TARDIS, is it happening to 14's TARDIS because they split?
Probably not.
Like, is there somewhere right now, just in Donna Noble Temple's backyard, where there's a TARDIS just sitting out there being consumed by an all-encompassing black mist?
I'd like to think
Probably not. I don't want 14 to show up, for the record. I don't want that to be
I don't think they
I don't want
will.
anything to overshadow Shooty.
I
don't
think
think
the
they will.
split represents the Doctor getting more back to his basic character. And I think maybe this is why this is happening to 15. Because it's reminiscing back to all these classic Who's and stuff.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
These are all classic Who villains who have something out for the Doctor.
Wow.
No, I'm not too sure.
We know for damn sure this is going to be very confusing, and we have no idea where it's going to go. So
I think based on what the Maestro said, because when she looked into the song, she talked about the one who waited, the old one, and based on what we read about Sutek, I think she's a new child of Sutek, like a new god.
Very possible.
the only thing I find slightly odd is that the Maestro does directly refer to their father, and then refers to the one who waits as another character. Now, I guess they can't just reveal things like that straight away. However, I don't know. Talking about your dad in third person and then referring to another entity as something completely different that is your dad doesn't add up. However, again, that could just be the case of we don't want to spoil it yet. So, yeah, I don't know. But I think I will leave the discussion there. But we have I think the prevailing feeling here is Mrs. Flood is more involved. Than she's currently been let on.
No way she isn't.
Like exactly. So I think that is our kind of main theory, because the others are just going all over the place and everywhere. So this is the one thing we're pretty certain on.
I'm confident in it.
I think we've got a plausible ground to be confident on this theory. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that will be all for today's video. Thank you all incredibly much for watching. Incredibly doesn't really make sense there. Thank you very, very much for watching. I'll be sure to have links to both Pat and Johnny's socials all in the description, so please take the time to go check them out. They're absolutely fantastic people. And they may well be joining for later episodes of Doctor Who knows?
gonna say
as
we
we
definitely need to watch the finale.
the part two is going to be interesting, so I'm interested to see that. But we have been watching The Legend of Rudy Sunday, and we will see you for the part 2 next week.
Yes. Have a good one. Bye.